And the first, oh my god. Hey guys, so today I have the second edition of Then vs. Now homemade squishies, and that's where I show you squishies that I've made in the past and compare them with squishies that I've made recently. And you guys seem to really enjoy the first one, so I thought I would do a second version. So without further ado, let's just get started. So first I have these two shrimp sushi squishies, and I don't think the first one is even that bad. I remember when I made it, I thought it was actually quite good. And this is really squishy. It's one of my favorites. I love this one a lot. But it is pretty messy. As you can see, there's like hot glue, and also the shaping just isn't the best, but that's pretty consistent with all of my old homemade squishies. And you can see that my new one is a lot more realistic, and the colors are also more accurate. And they're about the same in terms of squishiness, which is actually kind of surprising because I used memory foam for this one and I used density foam for this one. So yeah, but anyway, that's the sushi comparison. So next I have these Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches. I think this one's actually pretty good. I actually like the color of this one a lot more than this one because I think the cookie here is too light. But anyway, the shaping is, again, not the best. It's kind of jagged. And you can see the hot glue, and I also think the proportions aren't correct because the ice cream layer is a little bit too thick. So here's the new one in comparison, and it's a lot more slow rising. And I also made the ice cream layer look kind of glossy because I thought it would look more like ice cream. So overall, I think that the colors of this one are more realistic, but I like the shaping of the new one a lot more. So next I have these two cake squishies, and the first one has a very weird design. I don't really know what I was thinking. And then I just put a random design here. I didn't know, but yeah, it's random. And then here's the new one, and I did do a different design for it, but I still kind of kept the color scheme. So it's still got the blue and the green and then the pink border and like the brown details. And they both are yellow layer cakes with white frosting. So I don't really want to squish this one that much since it already has a lot of cracks in the paint, but this one is not super squishy. It's really squishy and soft. And the new one is a bit more slow rising, and the top layer of frosting is kind of shiny, so I think it looks a lot nicer than the matte one. And next I have these Rilakkuma cake rolls, and this one is actually older than all of these since this was made when I didn't have any density foam or paint, and so this one is made of like a car wash sponge, I think, which is kind of gross. But yeah, and then there's like this model magic stuff with some clay pieces which clearly fell off. And it's also just really messy. You can see the hot glue very clearly, and it's not, I don't really want to squish it again because it's kind of fragile, but yeah, it's not very slow rising by any means. And yeah, it's pretty squishy. And here's the new one, which I actually don't really like that much. For some reason it looks weird to me, and I think it's because the ears are a little bit too tall or something, but it just doesn't match the cake roll part. But anyway, yeah, you can make a judgment for yourself. But the good thing is this one is a lot more slow rising. So yeah, those are the two Rilakkuma cake rolls. So the final pair is my favorite, although technically it's a triplet since I have two old ones and then one new squishy. But for the old ones, I made the powdered design of the Hello Kitty donut, and then I have the chocolate one with the white drizzle. And I remember when I made this one, I thought it was really good. And I love this one. It's like super squishy and also really big. It's as big as my hand. And yeah, I really worked really hard on this, and I think it paid off. And now looking back, obviously it's not that great, but I don't think they look terrible. I just think they don't really look like the Hello Kitty donut squishy. but here's the new donut, and by comparison this one just looks like trash. So the shape of this donut definitely looks a lot more like the actual squishy, and so does the bow. And I also made the chocolate frosting shiny, which the original one doesn't have. And the new one is a little bit more slow rising than the old one. And I also added a tag to the new one just to make it look a little bit more realistic. So yeah, those are the Hello Kitty donuts. So those are all the homemade squishy comparisons, and you can probably see an improvement from the squishies on the left to the squishies on the right. And that's simply because I've been making squishies for a really long time, so I've had a lot of practice. So if you want to improve at making squishies, then I would recommend to just keep making them, and over time you'll get better. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye!